Joe Rogan did nothing wrong. This video is brought to you by the Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store. Get the merch link in the description section. You want a discount on the store. Text Tatum to 53445. Text Tatum to 53445. Text Tatum to 53445. You know, somebody said if you say it 3 times, it'll get into somebody's mind. Download the podcast, the Beat Tatum Show podcast on all podcasting platforms. That link is in the description section. Y'all know what to do. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen and women, bear with me for a second. They always talking about racism. Everything is racism. I'm tired of this, man. I'm sick of it. Let's talk about Joe Rogan real quick, and I'll let him explain himself to a certain degree. People say the N-word, and I know some YouTubers that use it frequently on the YouTube channel, and YouTube don't care. They still have advertisement and everything. I just don't like using the word because I feel like it's a disgusting word. But you know what the N-word is. Whether it's the A or the hard R, you know what it is. The myth of the N-word is that black people have taken that word back and taken the power. No, they haven't. No, black people have not taken that word back. They ain't no power. They ain't taking no power from nothing. If it was, then nobody would be complaining when people say it because they have the power now. Now they still cry a river. If people be getting mad if you quote another black man saying it. If you say, hey man, on that show last night, this dude said this, and I thought it was disgusting. You can't even quote a black man saying it. You can go out and buy Jay-Z, Lil Snoopy's, whatever these rappers' name is today. You can go buy their music. You could be in the club doing this. You know, you could be jamming. Yeah, man, I ran up on the, and you got to freeze. If you white, you got to freeze when they say the N-word. I was running up on, pull out the stick, and I did this and N-word. Okay, I could keep rapping. And I don't even love black people. They don't even roll up to my hood. I smoke all them fools and they kids and everything else. N-word. And then some songs, white people doing this the whole song. N. I mean, God, you ain't got the power back. Anyway, Joe Rogan, and I'll let him explain it. I'll give you a brief synopsis. In a faulty compilation, they had all these things taken out of context of him saying the N-word, trying to make it seem like the brother out here, you being racist. Let's listen to his apology. Roll the film.
Hello, friends. I'm making this video to talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it looks fucking horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a long time, when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation, instead of saying the N-word, I would just say the word. I thought as long as it was in context, people would understand what I was doing.
Joe, they do. Smart people do. The cowards of too much soy milk, they don't understand. I can look at a man say the N-word and I say, okay, I see what he's doing with that. All he did was repeat what another black man said in context of a discussion around the certain word. And at the end of the day, to be honest, a word is a word. You got a freedom of speech. You can say the N-word all day long if you want to. It don't bother me because I don't care. Most real men, Joe, they don't care.
Like that context was part of the clip we were talking about Red Fox, how Red Fox said that word on television in the 1970s and how times have changed so much since then. Or about how Richard Pryor used it as one of the titles of one of his albums. Or I was quoting a Lenny Bruce bit, or I was quoting a Paul Mooney bit, or I was talking about how Quentin Tarantino used it repeatedly in Pulp Fiction, or I was talking about how a Netflix executive, ironically, used it because he was trying to compare it to another offensive word, and he said it out loud, and they fired him. Not calling anybody or just saying the word out loud. I was also talking about how there's not another word like it in the entire English language, because it's a word where only one group of people is allowed to use it, and they can use it in so many different ways. Like if a white person says that word, it's racist and toxic, but a black person can use it, and it could be a punchline. It could be a term of endearment. It could be lyrics to a rap song. It could be a positive affirmation. It's a very unusual word, but it's not my word to use. I'm well aware of that now, but for years I used it in that manner. I never used it to be racist because I'm not racist, but whenever you're in a situation where you have to say, I'm not racist, you fucked up. And I clearly have fucked up.
That's where you lost me, Joe. You didn't even come on your podcast, man, so you could hear from a real black man and not these cowards in skinny jeans running around crying all day. How did you mess up? This is what I don't understand when people be apologizing. I wish I was these people's PR person. You didn't mess up, bro. If you had no ill intentions when you said the word, they can kiss your, you know what? I feel like, to me, I feel like there's a few people that's in his position that will never apologize for stuff like this. They would never apologize for it. And you shouldn't. Because if you didn't do nothing wrong, then what are you apologizing for? And the part where Joe Rogan said, and I'm going to let y'all listen to the rest of what he said. I just want to get the meat and potatoes of the first part of what he said. But if you are having to say, I'm not racist, it's because you're talking to idiots. And you ain't messed up because you have to address with idiots that I'm not racist. And you're not saying you're not racist because it doesn't matter what you really say. You're saying I'm not racist to appease these people. Because I know you ain't racist. You have plenty of black people on your show of all different walks of life. You had Snoop on there. You had Candace on there. You have all kind of black people on your show. No, nobody in their right mind thinks that Joe Rogan is a racist. Nobody. And I get upset sometimes because people as big as Joe Rogan can actually turn the curve on this thing. He need more brothers around him that make sense. Because Snoop and them probably texting him like, yo, bro, you got to apologize, bro. That ain't right. I don't care if you white or not. But real, normal, functional black men will say, bruh, it's a word. You can use the word in context. If people don't like it, it's their fault. They got to work it out on their own. Everybody know you ain't racist. You got people of all races, demographics that watch your show. I watch it all the time. I think it's very interesting. I wish that I could replicate a podcast like Joe Rogan. You ain't got to be apologizing, bro. You ain't got to apologize. You ain't done nothing wrong. They took a clip and put it out of context. It's embarrassing. I get it. You don't want to have to do this. It's an embarrassing thing because you got to justify whatever the case may be. But you ain't did nothing wrong, man. And I hope this is a lesson for all the white people out there, is that you can say what you want to say. And it don't mean you're racist. It doesn't mean you're racist. And I'll say this about the N-word in closing. If you don't want white people saying it, you shouldn't say it. And if black people can say it, then white people can say it. That's just the way it is. If you're so hurt by the word, won't you shut your mouth and stop using it? And stop using it in all the rap music. Stop using it in the locker room. Because if you think it's so offensive that a white man use it, you shouldn't be using it. And Joe Rogan was right. There is no other word in the English language that people use that as leverage and power. Go cry me a river, bruh. Black people ain't the only ones that have been called derogatory words. And to be honest, black people weren't the only ones to be called the N-word. It's just black people more prominently called the N-word. But people who use the N-word in its inception call white people the N-word just as well as black people. It wasn't a sign of endearment. It meant a very derogatory word. God, I'm sick of this stuff. Why can't people be rational? I'm popular because I'm just rational. That's weird to me. I should not be popular. I should not be popular. Like, I should be status quo. There should be no popular people because people just tell the truth and it's honest. It's not that hard to realize that if they put together video of you saying the N-word out of context, you did nothing wrong. You know you didn't do nothing wrong. You know you didn't say it to be derogatory. You know you was explaining a particular topic with other people on the podcast, and that's what you said. You said what you said. Y'all don't like it, you don't watch my podcast. Anyway, man, y'all comment in the comment section. What do you think about Joe Rogan, his apology? What do you think about him saying the N-word? What do you think about these haters trying to put together a collage of him saying it just to destroy him, not to do anything else? Don't apologize to these people, Joe. Don't apologize. It ain't never gonna be enough. It ain't never gonna be enough. You apologize today, then you erase it. Now they want you to take your music off or take your podcast off. Then they want you to make an announcement on your podcast. Then on your podcast, you got to have a mural of Black Lives Matter in the background. And then after that, you got to come speak to a group of people about inclusion and indifference and all this other stuff. And then after that, you know, it ain't never going to be enough. Never apologize to the mob. I love you guys. I'm out.